Morning, seventh graders. We're going to head right into a warm up this morning to get going and get you ready to take your quick check today. So, if you look, we have a learning target of I can use circle formulas to solve problems. And so, once we do our warm up, just to review circumference and area of circles, you're going to then head into a quick check. Here is your warm up right here. So on a lined sheet of paper, you can use a calculator to work these problems out. The first two are true or false, but then 3 and 4, you're going to need to find the area of a circle and the circumference of a circle. So even if you need to pull your notes out or the book for you to remember what the formulas are for each of those, because you'll be able to use the formulas even on your quick check today. But let's say take about maybe 5 minutes, if that, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and get these answered, and then pause the video right now and come back and we'll go over the answers. Alrighty, so let's start to look at the answers that you have for your warm-up. Number 1, true or false, the circumference is the space inside the circle. And then if it's a false statement, correct the statement, make it what it should be. So right here, the circumference is the space inside the circle. That would be false. And so if we're saying that that's false, that means we're going to correct this part right here because it's not the circumference, it is the area. So the area is the space inside the circle. Number 2, true or false, the diameter is twice the radius. Again, if false, correct the statement. So if we were to draw a circle and think about that center point that goes in the circle, and think about drawing a radius, right? Halfway. So the diameter is twice that. So if we have at the center point here, a radius drawn, and we know the diameter goes from one end of the circle to the other, we could extend that out still from the center point to reach that other side. That is a true statement. Number 3, find the area of a circle that has a diameter of 7 inches. Use 3.14 for pi. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So if we're looking at finding area, here's our formula, pi r squared. And if we're going to use 3.14 for pi, and then we're going to multiply that by that radius squared, we have to look and see what we've got here. So in the problem itself, it's telling us the diameter is 7 inches. So if the diameter is 7 inches, we need to be able to cut that in half to get the radius, which means diameter 7 inches, radius, we're going to do 7 divided by 2. And so then that radius is going to give us 3.5 inches. So the radius inside that circle, 3.5. Now we're going to take this value right here and plug that into our formula. So now we're going to take 3.5 for the radius and square it. We talked about how this is not just 3.5 times 2. We're multiplying it by itself, right? So 3.5 times 3.5. So if I keep going with this problem here, and I do my order of operations, right? I do my 3.5 squared. Okay, here is your radius squared, so 12.25. Plugging that in. And now we can multiply that by 3.14. And we're going to see this decimal that comes out. So 38.465. So we're going to round that to the nearest tenth. We're going to look at that 6 in the hundredths spot there. And that 6 is going to tell us what to do with the 4 in the tenths. And so we are going to round up. Your final answer for the area inside that circle is going to be 38.5. And inches squared. Okay, I'll start with that one. Number 4, find the circumference of a circle that has a radius of 3 centimeters, use 3.14 for pi again, and round to the nearest tenth. So now if we're talking circumference, we're now talking pi times diameter. So remember the sayings that we did with these. Cherry pie delicious, apple pies are too, right? So circumference, pi times diameter, 3.14 times. So we go back up and look in the problem, and the problem tells us the radius is 3 centimeters. So we need the diameter. So if we understand the radius is 3 centimeters, we're going to multiply that by 2, double it to get the diameter. So now we have a diameter of 6 centimeters. So this value is now going to go in our problem and into our formula. So we're going to end up doing 3.14 times 6. So let's calculate that one. Now rounding to the nearest tenth, circumference, distance around the circle. So the 18.84, the 4 tells us what to do to the 8, and we don't round up here. So 18.8, and this is just going to be in centimeters. Distance around for number 4. Okay, so there's your warm-up. You can, if you need to, pause to write any of the notes down or more of the work down, or ask questions with your crew teacher or a podmate if you're in person. And when you're all set now, you're going to come back and you're going to do this lesson 1 and 2 circumference area quick check in Schoology. So note here that I put you can use your calculator, you can use your notes, you can use the formulas in front of you, you can use your book, and so on. So all of that is available for you to take this quick check, which is an assignment grade. And you know that anytime we do a quick check in Schoology, you get to retake that unlimited times. So when you head into Schoology, you'll see it there, lesson 1 and 2, circles quick check. There are 12 questions there for you to work through. And then if there's time, because today we just really allotted about 30 minutes of time to go through math today with the schedule, with some performing arts, the showcase that we have to go to in 7th grade. And so really this is a pretty short day for you. Once you do finish the quick check, if you have some time still left before you change over to your next class or so on, then I work on ALEKS for the week. Again, look at your graded checklist to see what has to get done. And that'll be it for math today. So short and sweet, we will see you back on Thursday. Have a great Tuesday afternoon, and enjoy your Wednesday at home.